Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? You are watching Penny Stocks Live. This is episode 281. Appreciate you joining me here, the American Investor Show. Shout out to all the people coming into the chat room. Check out my website, advancedequityresearch.com. Sponsors Equity Feed, equityfeed.com. Get 2 weeks free. Also, blackboxtrader.org, the best retail algorithm black box on the market. Shout out to the people again in the chat room. Who was first in here? Gucci, what's up, man? Hey, Gucci, are you the one that added me to the option chat on Twitter? Is that you? What's going on, Chris McKinney? Appreciate your conversation today. Ad Leon, what's up, man? Mission partner. Ad Leon, I think it's been a minute. JT, the Bullhead Trader. A Ranger, what's up, man? Hawardo. Who else is in here? Atlan Entertainment. DNF Bob. Patrice Jameson. How you doing, Patrice? Norman Powell, what's up? George M, what's good, man? Beam in. Shirley Lewis, Monkman, Woody Wright. What's going on, Woody? Ricky Sobrian, Wande Casa. I don't know why I'm like fucking up Ricky's name. Ricky's always in here. Adam, Joel Kraft, Mainstream McGee. Shout out to all of you guys watching in the future as well. Let's get to it. You guys know what to do. My callers call me up. We'll get the calls out of the way. 305-600-2896. With that being said, if no callers right now, we'll jump into it. Get some tickers there. I already see A Ranger with a ticker. Was that EPE, sir? I already see you with that EPE. Here's the daily chart. All right, stock's making a lot of new lows here over the last week and a half. I got an interesting list of tickers making, one ticker in particular making some unusual volume. We got an OTC stock also announced today, a $2 million stock repurchase. That's really, really rare, setting them up for a possible pump moving forward. We'll see. Got a caller here. 862, you on the air. What's going on?
How's it going?
Doing good. Who am I speaking with?
Jerry.
All right,
I
Jerry.
called the other night.
Excellent. Appreciate you, Jerry, for calling. What do you got for us today?
NVCN.
Okay, NVCN. All right, nice day today on that one, up 26%. I do see here it was one of the bigger gainers today on the market. Number 4, to be exact. Looks like it's up slightly after hours as well. Tell us what got this stock moving today.
I found no news on this stock whatsoever. I just happened to come across it as I was looking at the biggest losers for the day before. And I saw the RSI was at 17. So I went back in the history of the chart, and I found that 4 times before that it had hit 17, and each time it hit 17, the next day it had a big rebound. So I went through and looked at the levels, and 25 cents, 88 was what I wanted to get out at. And if I had enough volume, I was going to get out at 76, but it actually hit all of those. So
yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, 100%, as you said, there was no news at all on this stock, and driving it to as high as almost 35% for the day. It was actually, the high was 31%, 31 cents before closing at 23. So incredible run. I mean, almost 100% for the day before selling off. Good job are you catching that and selling it close to the top there. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's funny because you and I were talking about those videos that you had put out about that guy using RSI and the MACD, and that's one of these things I used on here to find this. And like I said, I went back through the history of the chart, and whenever that thing hit 17 on the RSI, it had a huge rebound the next day, and I picked it up because of that guy's video, so it was pretty good. Again,
appreciate it, man. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, this was, those videos, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have those videos, email me, happypennystocks@gmail.com. It's really changing the way people trade, and they're finding for the first time or after a long time how to be profitable again trading stocks. So that's awesome, man. I'm so happy to hear that, you're really finding a groove with those videos. Yeah,
it's working out good in the volume. I'm just making sure that there's a lot of volume in each one of these stocks that I'm checking out, because you got that right setup, but you got no volume, you're going nowhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, more than enough volume today, though, on NVCN. Over 30 million shares traded today on that low RSI pump here on NVCN. Yeah, so I suspect the stock will probably sell off pretty aggressively tomorrow, unless there's some dip buying going on. But again, as you said, there's no story behind the increase, so it might end up selling off tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the low, I think, was like 18 cents or something like that. So it's still pretty close to the low, but it has a huge long wick on the top, like you're saying. It probably sell off.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate the call, man. Thank you as always.
All right, man. Keep it up.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to that caller for NVCN. Knock that stock out for the day. Add the Leon SSGT. And he was absolutely right, man. If you found that low RSI setup, SSGT, I'm not pulling up a ticker, Add the Leon, on that. I'm not pulling up a ticker on that one. Let's keep it going. NIHD. Is that Miss Jameson with NIHD? Yeah, this one was an interesting one. I paper traded this one and should have went long, but again, I had some money caught up somewhere else. And as you can see here, beautiful bounce off that lower, off the 50 RSI. And I had been holding it there since that time. Figured I saw the bounce. If you go to the hourly chart, one of my favorites, all right, bought the breakout above the 50. And again, that's the signal. That's the signal, the breakout above the 50. By the way, I've added the MACD to the chart. Can you guys see that clearly? The MACD line built there, merged in with the volume. I can get rid of the volume, but sometimes you guys call up with these low volume plays, and I want to be able to tell something's low volume, so I don't want to get rid of the colored volume bars. But during the day, that's how I trade. I do use the MACD to help me signal better along with the RSI. All right, but again, beautiful call. That 50 moving average on my favorite time frame, the hourly, would have been your breakout. But again, you can go to a lot even a smoother trade effect. NIHD, you probably wouldn't have seen this coming. This was yesterday's trade as it slowly creeped up above the 50 RSI, and then boom, there's the beautiful bounce. Look at that. All right. And of course, the divergence that sets up between the MACD and the RSI is, you see, losing steam, losing momentum. You see here, sideways movement in the NIHD. Eventually, the collapse is coming as this starts to figure itself out in the stock, and boom, here's the drop. Would have been a nice short, but again, under 250, not too much meat on that bone. Regardless, nice trade for anybody who was in it. Now, whether it be a multiple day scenario, you're a bit high now, right? I mean, you're at 85 on the RSI on the daily chart. So obviously, not where you want to be as someone who's looking to go long for the very first time. In fact, as I just said, it's setting up very nicely for a short. there's a high probability that this is going to come down even further from these levels, being that, it has increased significantly from the 61 cents that it took off at. You're up well over 150% from those prices. Appreciate it, George M. Yeah, now that was a nice move on Pred. Nice move on Pred today. We'll talk about that. 845, you're on the air.
Hello, Sal. It's Ken. How are you?
Ken, how are you, bro? I know you've got to be really excited about BYOC in that news, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just a question for you, because it hit 15 when that news came out, and then it came back down to 13, closed near 14. Do you think there's a seller out there? I mean, maybe they just have to get through those shares, and then we'll go higher, because that news was just amazing.
It was amazing news, incredible news. I was a little bit disappointed because I was looking to play the breakout to 20. I thought it was going to happen today on that news. It didn't happen, and yes, I think you may have. Again, someone out there who is sitting on some shares from, the triple zeros level or the double zeros level. Again, this is a stock that's up well over several thousand% from these levels. And you got to, if you pull up the chart, you'll see significant, stock purchases that were made back in March, back in June, back in August at, below a penny. So you've got somebody out there who's up 3,000, 4,000% on their money, who is going to take advantage of any kind of news coming out to sell, and those shares and liquidate that awesome return that they're sitting on. So that's got to be a ballsy trader, right, to hold that long. But I don't doubt that there's somebody out there who's sitting with a ton of green in their portfolio, and that this was an opportune time for them to sell. Now, moving forward. With that news, you got a new set of buyers who came into the stock today. I think that can be of assistance in trying to retest that 16-cent level and break through higher. But, that sell-off today was concerning, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the chalk and money flow on the bottom of the chart, it definitely has come down pretty dramatically, which means there is someone has to be liquidating it.
Yes.
So it does. I mean, maybe those once they get out of their position, as you said, will go higher, and they do have the right people behind them in this company. So I mean, it's exciting. So we will, this digestion is boring right now, but I think it's good to have a piece in everyone's portfolio with this kind of stock.
Absolutely. But I want to see the breakout. I want to see the breakout happen, Ken, because as long as we fight for these 15s, if we're not find buyers committing above 15, that means we're going lower. So I want to see it break 15, because once we breaks 15, you get some new money coming in there to sustain the run. If we continue to fight with 15 and we're not breaking, then these guys, whoever they are, who are sitting on those shares, which are huge, I mean, because obviously they got them dirt cheap, they're going to start selling even bigger lots, and that's going to be concerning.
I know. So we'll see with that. I did LDSR. That was the other one. I think I brought LDSR, AKER. I'm not sure if I talked about ATOS, but those two I brought up on the show on what was it? Today's Wednesday. It was on Monday night. I hope people took my advice and bought those on Tuesday morning, because the LDSR, they could have gotten it at 0.0163, which I did on Tuesday morning. I bought 238,000 shares, sold them all today at 0.022.
Yeah, I mean, LDSR. What do you think about it now? Is it a dip buy candidate? Are you saying game over here? Because we've looked at these charts before. I mean, this is a similar move BYOC did in its run, and it sells off and you get the dip, right? It's even LDSR going back here to the 26th, not just 2 days ago. You had somewhat an aggressive sell-off for a couple hours, and then now, look where you are. So do we get dip buyers tomorrow to bounce off this on the LDSR, or is this game over here?
I think we get dip buyers. I look at the volume. I mean, it's tremendous volume. I know that I'm not sure that the float seems pretty big unless I'm not reading it correctly, but the volume definitely is there, which does give me some confidence that we will. Where could it dip to tomorrow? Well, it got down. Remember on Monday morning it hit 0.0105, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it could. So I think we get down to 0.014, 0.01. Somewhere that's where you buy tomorrow. That's what I think.
Oh, so you're thinking a sell-off all the way back down to basically 0.01. Wow.
The Porter 1.4.
0.104. Okay, 0.104.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see on that. And then the biotechs, that AKER that I had spoken about Monday, that ran all the way up to what, 88 this morning.
Yeah, AKER. We talked about it in the chat room with Bats, and we talked about how AKER was looking for $1, bro, and I don't doubt it. I told you that on Twitter. I honestly believe it. I think it's looking for $1, and I think it's going to get it, man. I mean, that sell-off today was pretty disappointing. I thought you could, keep the bull running, but regardless, I think you could still get it. Where are we at on the 200? Yeah, we're still fighting for that 200. Wow, look at that.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I found this stock when it was 19 cents from the Rainmaker board on iHub. And this was back in January 10th. God.
Wow.
What an amazing run. And did you see the other one, BPMS, Boyd, Paul, Mary, X-Ray? That one took off yesterday afternoon because the CEO put on Facebook some kind of patent. They got a patent. He didn't release a PR. He puts it on Facebook yesterday afternoon.
That's pretty disappointing to see that. He's got to definitely release that through proper channels. That's how you start generating the real volume. Regardless, though, I mean, the volume showed up with this stock today. Almost 100 million shares traded within the stock today, BPMS. Right. But again, that 200 moving average is always the truth teller. And sure enough, the stock, rejected below it. Stored above it, but rejected to right below it. So ending with 25 cents. Of course, you got a lot of people up there in the 30s who could become resistance now, but we'll see. BPMX, nice day for the stock, though, up 13% today. And again, here's another one where, if you had the tracker up, beautiful call, just crossing the 50 moving average here again, and nice move there.
Yeah, exciting times. So market, and even though the market was down 380 points, there were a lot of good runners today.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Anything else for you tonight? ANDI had a bounce this afternoon. That Apple Nancy David Ice, that ANDI Corp, it got down. I don't know. I mean, maybe there was a news leak on that one. I mean, it's come way down from 0.04, hit a low of 0.0136 this early morning. And then it closed at 2 this afternoon.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah, not crazy about this one too. Again, but this is very similar to what we're talking about in BYOC. But these guys, whoever's long here, they're not waiting to hit the whole bag. They are unloading, and they're unloading pretty heavy.
Yes, they are.
As you can see here, I mean, you can pull up the time and sales, and they're not given a chance for this stock to even run. Nice day today, though. I mean, you had a nice little rebound today, 23%. So let's see. What we need now is a confirmation of that bullish momentum, and we need ANDI to, let me see here. Let's see what the hourly looks like. All right, yeah, we need AMDI to fully cross above my 50 RSI line, and that'll be the confirmation of some real bulls coming back into the stock and taking control again.
Yeah. One more. Livewire. I think this is one you've talked about on the show, LVVV.
Yeah.
You saw what happened today? There's some kind of, they released the news they won a marijuana license. The stock went ballistic.
Yeah, I mean, they won a permit. Here's the thing. It's a cultivation permit. So want, I mean, it's not a retail permit. Retail permits are the golden jewels, but still, they run a cultivation permit that allows them to grow it. So they can grow it, sell it wholesale to the retailer. So still, regardless, that's a good win for them. I think it's a little bit, of course, exaggerated in terms of the market move. But, again, nice trade for the guys who are already in the stock. If you're not in it, I wouldn't chase it. But, again.
No, I agree.
Yeah, congrats to the people who are in it.
Yep. Can I give you one more, Sal? Firefish, FRFS. I bought a small position there today. Frank Red, Frank Sam. Remember that one back in the fall? It went from like 0.002 to 8 cents in a matter of 3 days.
Yeah, this was a beast. I remember that. This was a beast back early last summer, and we didn't really get a chance to see it, right? I mean, it just kind of came and went. Did a few little pumps here and there, but for the most part, it had that incredible 3 or 4 days, and it disappeared off most people's radar. So to see it bouncing back now, it's really interesting. That's why you always talk about, buying these OTC or previous runners when nobody wants them, when they're just kind of sitting around and they're still relatively, liquid, but just no one's around, to be interested in them. So here we have Firefish back on everybody's radar again. And Ken, one thing today, PRED. I know you were a holder in the low 80s, early 90s.
$1, right.
What did you think about the news today, them talking about possibly getting listed to a major exchange?
It's encouraging, but it looks to me that someone's diluting. They're trying to dilute the stock. That's from what I believe is happening.
Yeah.
And it's funny how it got down to, what was it, the 200-day moving average?
Exactly.
And it bounced off.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
They released that news when the stock got down.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you see that, especially, again, when you're talking about stocks that are running and then all of a sudden they go into this death spiral. That's basically what it's called, where you're just seeing unusual strong selling that typically is coming out of management or coming out of some either 10% holder or even maybe just a large shareholder that's unlisted that we don't know about, or that's not showing in Form 4s that has a huge position and unfortunately, putting that into the market. And I'm not convinced the selling could be over as well either.
No, my friend of mine is close to this. He keeps telling me, well, the audited financials, they keep getting delayed, and he's in no rush in buying it himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that means he unloaded it.
Wow.
I mean, come on, whatever.
Look, that's penny stocks, though, Ken. You know how the business runs, man. I
do. That's why I sold it.
Yeah. Also,
I made a good money.
One more thing. Do you know anything about this company, STGG? I'm hearing a lot of talk about it. Supposedly, they won a huge government contract. It got on my radar today. Very low float. The float's really low, only 184,000 shares today traded, sent the stock soaring up 265%. So I would love if you kind of take a look at it and get back to me on that. But this is an interesting move at a company out of nowhere.
Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for that. I will. I'll look into it. Yeah. Thank you. Great.
Appreciate it,
All
Ken.
right. Enough for me. Take care.
Thank you. Shout out to Ken for the call. Appreciate you as always, brother. STGG, excuse me. Very low float. And, I mean, this sucker is low, man. This sucker is low. 184,000 shares traded, and you move up 265%. That means you basically have nothing on the ask, and everybody's on the bid. All right? 301, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, it's DJ Young Love.
DJ Young Love, what you got for us, man?
Yeah, I'm in the chat there once in a while. So I'm all over CPVNF.
CTVNF?
Yup.
CTVNF. I'm not getting a stock for that. Hold on.
CTVNF. Cheddar, Popcorn, Victor.
Oh, okay, okay. Capital Venture?
Yes.
Okay,
yep.
There's CPVNF. All right, Capital Venture Europe. Tell us a little bit about it. OTC Pink. It really dumped today. What was going on here?
Yeah, it's a pretty terrible company. I'm not buying it for the company. Basically, you just got to follow it. I've been buying at the low, 0.001213. It went up 900% the other day, and I was able to sell at 0.025. I actually made about 1,000%.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look at the volume today, that was actually all me selling all 400,000 shares. I made it dumb.
Are you pumping this yourself, or what happened? What drove the volume from yesterday's move to begin with?
I have no idea what drove it yesterday. I've been buying for weeks. That was not me yesterday.
Wow.
The selling today was me another day.
Okay. Now, what was causing you to buy it? Obviously, you saw something in the stock that would make a run possible. What did you see that made you want to go into a stock that had low volume?
I actually heard a lot about it from my buddy. My buddy's been trading penny stocks for about 15 years, and he's been talking about CPVNF for a long time. He says that the company's trash, but he sees it going somewhere. So I started to slowly accumulate. And then you kind of just watch how it trades. I mean, every time it gets to this low, 0.001, it jumps almost every time. So basically, you can just mess around with limit orders here. For whatever reason, people jump in with market orders and they buy up your shares crazy high. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the guy that loses 83% of it. The guy who bought my shares today lost 83% of $5,000.
Damn.
So I feel terrible for that guy, but there are people that are doing it, and that's just how penny stocks work.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a loss only if he decides to sell tomorrow too, but he could end up holding it and maybe get on the other side of a buyer who's looking to get in, but still,
yes,
man.
Sir. I'm a buyer around here, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not right now, but I am a buyer around this level.
So you would actually think it be smart for guys to jump in at these levels, at these 0020s or low 00 or high 00 teens?
Yes, sir. I don't see it possibly falling below where it's at. I've been watching it for months, and I don't see it falling below where it's at. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a professional by any means. I've been doing this for about 2 years.
Sure. All right. Interesting, man. Appreciate the call, bro.
Yes, sir. I was wondering, what's your if you had to pick one penny stock right now, what's your favorite? Because I got all this cash I just made, and I need some.
One penny stock right now.
One right.
Let me see here. I really like what DRWN is setting up to do. I think when I look at a ticker like DRWN, if they really go through with the stock repurchase plan, I think this could be something pretty big. And I love the growth over the last couple of days. I like what the chain is kind of doing here over the last one, even on the hourly. So I'm watching that stock in particular. These things you can never really fall in love with, though. But that's a stock that I like right now in terms of OTC pennies.
And, what kind of a timeline do you have? Do you have, do you think it's going to be spiking in the next couple of days, weeks?
I would. For something like this, I don't like to play the days kind of thing, so I always give myself at least 2 weeks when you're talking about OTC pennies.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. All right. Shout out to him for the call. Yeah, I mean, the stock that he brought up, that's very, very particular, and that's nothing that I would never suggest anybody doing. Obviously, he had information, right? He had information that you didn't have, so I wouldn't just go in there and grab those, that stock and run off. He obviously had insider information that something could happen at these levels, and he took advantage of the news, and it was profitable for him. But that doesn't mean just go run out and find a 0002, 0003 that's not doing anything, and you're gonna uncover the same kind of results. Doesn't happen like that. All right, doesn't happen like that. But again, when I pull up DRWN, get rid of the 200 moving average, I like what it's doing here. And now we're at 0010. Let's see if we can hold that and get out of those doubles and get to those higher levels. But again, this is a setup that could take some time. When we look at companies like BYOC that had a very similar move, it's a very similar kind of setup, right? You're coming out of those triples, you get into those doubles. It takes time. You got guys who got to get out, right? You get selling here too, but you do get guys who buy. And again, over the period of time, then you end up to where you are now. Now, let's be honest. Most guys aren't going to sit on 1,000, 2,000% gain. So most guys who buy in the triples, they're going to unload here. That's why you get a lot of resistance at these high twos or low ones or mid ones, because guys who are sitting at the triples, they're unloading. But once those guys are out, you continue to get solid volume. Oh boy, look at that. That's what can happen sometimes when you buy penny stocks. All right. But again, the story's got to stick, and BYOCs did it perfectly. I mean, they did it textbook, marketing when it comes to releasing news. Nobody does it better right now on the OTCs when it comes to news releases than BYOC right now. That's just clear. All right. PRED is close, but obviously we just talked about how there's a diluter in there, but BYOC probably the best right now in OTCs. All right. BSTI. BSTI. All right, BSTI. I don't know anything about this company. $9 stock. All right, doesn't have the best chart in the world. Looks like a relatively new company. Speaking of new companies, Spotify today. Does anybody here have Spotify? Spotify today announced they're going public. And what was really interesting, what's going on, Joe Silva? What's really interesting, they announced today that they're not setting a price. They're going to let the market decide what they open up at. And look, with that being said, you know, this is not going to be a $2 stock. I mean, if they let the market decide, I have no doubt this is going to open up into triples. When I mean triples, I'm talking 100 plus. 100 plus. So this is, you know, Spotify, when they do go public, ticker is going to be SPOT. It is not going to be a cheap stock. It is not going to be a cheap stock. They're going to have a valuation of about, last I checked, about $8 billion. All right. Company's generating right now about $4 billion in revenue, so it's not going to be a cheap stock. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that runs. But I didn't speak anything on options being released the same day. Typically, options is released about a month or sometimes 2.5 weeks or so after the shares go public. That's kind of what happened with, if you remember, with Snapchat. Blue Apron was a similar thing. Blue Apron, I think options came out almost 2 or 3 months later. All right, let's get back to these. SRNE. Get back to the chat room. SRNE, nice run. SRNE. NASDAQ up 17% today. Story looking real good. The FDA announced that they approved the company's non-opioid painkiller patch. All right. Nice run to them. Shout out to them. This is what you want to hear. I'll give monster kill. Monster kill for SRNE. Nice day today, up 17%. Shares should rally on that news for at least another day. 68 on the RSI. You still got some room there moving forward. Nice volume today on the news as well. 7.5 million shares, almost double the average. SRNE FDA news beating expectations there. Nice move there too. All right, so you still got a lot. You got a lot of momentum here that could possibly build on this. All right, nice move in the indecision right there on the MACD, but again showing quite a bit of space up there. You could travel higher on SRNE. After hours, well, that's no wonder. All right, there it is. The after hours is at 10:45 on the after hours ask. Bid is at 10:35, so I guess I was right. Didn't even see that. Nice move as buyers bidding it up after hours. Yes, Adam. Yep, the ticker will be SPOT. That's going to be an exciting stock to trade when that opens. Just be very careful on that. But that's going to be a very exciting stock to try to buy for at least a week and a half, or even higher. I mean, Spotify. Nobody comes close in Spotify right now. All right. And I think you're going to experience some pain on Pandora when that comes out. They could run together, but I doubt it. CIE today, you know, no news. This very similar to the gentleman we had on the air to start the show for NVCN. This was simply a low RSI bounce here. That's basically all that was. Stock had been selling off for quite some time. If we go into the chart here, you can see here, beautiful move. Let me go into a 5-minute. All right, here's the 5-minute. You guys already seeing some bullish momentum coming back into the stock as soon as yesterday. Yesterday around noon, you're starting to see some leveling up here, and then boom, you got the chat room pump here as people playing the RSI bounce. But the bullishness coming back into the stock with a clear run over the 50 RSI here, staying above it for the most part. And showing that move in the morning, but eventually again started to sell off. Now going bearish again. The move was simply an RSI bounce, and this stock should come back down to earth tomorrow. All right, so the guys who got in it, nice move on that. And that's how you would follow this. You would pull up, go on FinViz, pull up stocks, low RSI. They actually give you on the screener, finviz.com. What's the name of that? I believe it's the technical tab. You select it, go to screener, technical tab, and on the RSI, which is just below the technical tab, you would look up the RSI category oversold 30. So anything with oversold 30 with a decent float. And you can go to lowfloat.com and follow, just pull up the floats from there if you want, or just use your broker's platform to determine what the float is of the stock. And if it's got a low float, low RSI, then just follow the chart using the RSI indicator on the time frame, a lower time frame, so you can spot when a possible turnaround could be occurring. All right? Or you can buy blackboxtrader.org. All right? Go to blackboxtrader.org, buy the black box software, and then you get the alert when it comes out. You can do that. All right? For the guys who like the shortcuts. What's going on, Fisher G? Lord Yase? Yes, we did look at BMPX, but I'm willing to pull it up again for you. Hold on. I think you're talking not BMPX. Are you talking about BPMX? Are you talking about BPMX? All right, let's get back to the daily chart on that. I think you're talking about BPMX. We did talk about that with Ken. Hitting that 200 moving average, fighting it. Hitting that 200 moving average, put it back on your chart. There it is. Fighting that 200. All right, acting like that Great Wall of China, preventing so many stocks. And it's typically a resistance level for a lot of stocks that have, coming from, strong lows. BPMX, again, is a stock that's had trouble in the past with the 200. All right, so you want to make sure that this is a clean break above it. As you can see here, it struggles quite a bit above that 200 moving average line. All right, so this has been a very bearish stock for a very long time. I mean, this has been a big-time loser. All right, but you see here, even when there's a clean break, going back to April of 2017, there's a clean break and some support with that RSI or MACD proving that's nice. But again, here's a stock that's been struggling quite a while. All right. Decent volume, though. You got buyers here. You said, yeah, I had to get out of those Halliburton puts that bad scientist got me in. I had to get the hell up out of there. I got out of there yesterday, though. But let me see what that hourly looked like on Halliburton. Yeah, Halliburton, there it is, crossing the 50. Again, that's my time frame. I love it. All right, Bat's getting us in there at a nice cross. Gave me a couple $100. It wasn't much, but I had to get up out of there yesterday because you started seeing that weakness, and then you had the crossover, MACD crossover. All right, this was yesterday, first thing in the morning. Had to sell. MACD crossover typically never lies, man. Never lies. All right, let's keep it going. Congrats to you. Who said that? Congrats to you, Fisher G. NVCN. I think NVCN did its move today. Let's look at BIOC. Let's take a look at BIOC. Here's BIOC. Nice hourly chart. Let's see what the daily is setting up as. All right. BYOC. I like BYOC over NVCN, Joe. I like BIOC over NVCN. Now, BIOC, coming from these lower highs, very much looks like, you know what that looks like? It looks like the ABIO chart, which we have yet to see. I'm going to pull that up in a minute. But here we have BIOC. I like where it's setting up at here even on the daily. Obviously, we need to see some confirmation of that bullish momentum here. Let me get rid of the 200 since it's really pushing it down. Where's that 200 at, by the way? In 97 cents? Woo, yeesh. Got a long way to go, but hey, never say never. BIOC, when was the last news? February 7th. All right. RSI still below that 50 line where I like, but again, when you see the hourly, all right, you got the cross yesterday morning to be exact. Now he sold off pretty high, pretty aggressively, for the day yesterday, but then here comes the dip buyers coming back to save the stock. Nice move. And then you can see MACD here telling you to stay in. All right, even though the stock sold off, MACD is saying stay in, as that the bullish 12 line, 12 moving average line on the MACD is telling you to stay in the trade in the hourly, and not bad. You would have been proven right using the indicator as well as that RSI line staying above 50, right? See that positive momentum is still there. Even though the stock sold off, the positive momentum is still there, saying stay in. And there it is. There's the bounce, beautifully done today, BIOC. So yeah, I like this trade moving forward. Obviously, on the hourly, we're not necessarily tapped out yet there, but if this chart does continue to go higher, look for it to come back down just slightly to cool off a little bit on these higher time frames, right? Because if you go on a higher time frame, let's say a 4 hour, right, it's still catching up to the daily. But if we go even to, let's go to a lower time frame, like a 10-minute, we should be all the way. Well, there it is. All right, so we got up there today on those lower time frames. You got up to 79. All right, 79, 81 or so on that RSI. So that's going to cool off a little bit more to allow you to kind of continue to go higher on BIOC. But again, nice chart. Let's get the confirmation tomorrow. And that confirmation, if you get a similar day tomorrow, then you're crossing this. You're crossing the 50 line on the daily. Very exciting. Very exciting. And shout out to those traders here. Again, using that MACD. And again, that's why you can't really follow every stock, right? I mean, there are 9,000 or so publicly traded stocks. You can't follow all of these. But look at that beautiful crossover right here. Oh, look at that beautiful MACD cross right here telling you to get in if you're using the MACD. I know there's another indicator you probably could have used. Let's say, where's the 5? Let's go to 10. All right, actually pretty low on the 10. Let's see, the 5. Where do you cross the 5 at? Oh, even lower on the 5. All right, yeah, actually, I mean, yeah, you cross the 5 here a little bit too, but again, the subsequent days sell off, but again, MACD's telling you to stay in. Not bad. BIOC. Yeah, nice play. Nice play on that, Joe. I like that stock a lot. I'm gonna write it down for myself. Dirt cheap stock, 35 cents a share. Again, you got to get that confirmation tomorrow that traders really want to see this go in a different direction and fill this gap, right? That's basically what it's doing. But for many stocks, as we saw BW not too long ago, remember BW hitting that gap fill and then had a lot of trouble moving above the gap to fill it. So let's see if, and by the way, we'll take a look at where BW is now, but we'll see if it goes ahead and fills that gap. We've started to fill the gap, then we're talking about possibly hitting that 50 or 49 cents gap fill. BW, going back to that chart, if you remember, nice move from BW. Again, still filling that gap, but had a lot of trouble. Had a bit of trouble filling it, a couple of days of not knowing where the stock was going. BW still fighting. Here's another beautiful low RSI. Here was the crossover telling you to stay in still. And now, I'm not sure where the stock is going now, but BW, great example for those kind of low RSI, follow the gap for the fill kind of plays. Joe Silva, MACD and RSI is all you use. Same here, sir. Same here. Kind of took me some time to get to that point, though. For those of you guys who were watching from the beginning, for a long time I was doing a little bit of CCI, and that was kind of, fucking me over a little bit, getting me in kind of late on certain moves. But once you learn MACD and RSI, it is pretty much all you need. And some good moving averages, too. Good moving averages. Lord Yase, video you sent me, good entry. Glad you got some help with that. Yeah, I hope one of you guys don't end up going to snitch with that. But I don't know. I don't think he's still in business, though. The guy who made those videos, I don't think he's still in business. I'm not going to put out his domain name. But his domain is still up. The guy was charging $2,500 for that video package. $2,500 for that video package. And, once I downloaded it, I saw it and I was like, man, this is great stuff. This is good. And I would pull up charts and spot on, hourly, spot on, daily, spot on, weekly, spot on. I was like, man, I got to share this stuff. And it's not just the way he, what he's doing, not just the strategy, but the way he explains it. A beginner can understand. If I was a greedy bastard, I would post all this shit on YouTube, but it ain't my shit to do like that. So I'll just give it to you until somebody, until he complains about it or something. So email me if you want it. All right, let's keep it going. Unusual volume alert today on equity feed, which was NTFL. These little moves like this, I'm always interested in seeing where this could go. These stocks that have kind of made a move, sold off, floats are relatively still low. 200,000 shares and you move up 47%. That float's still really low. So now you're on my radar, NTFL. So I wanted to put it on your radar as well. I still have some research to do on the stock. I didn't do much. They had some other things to do. But NTFL, unusual volume alert. One to watch today. So let's see what's that doing. It's kind of been trending a little bit sideways, trying to look for some support to build off of. But again, unusual volume coming in. Let's see if we continues to build on that volume, because otherwise it is a lightly traded stock, but a tight float, trading on OTC markets. And if I could go back to the website, it is a clean ticker too. NTFL. Let me see here. OTC Pink, no information. Broker dealer. Okay, yeah, so that definitely needs some changing to do. All right, but just bringing it to your attention. Let's keep it going. Add the Leon, email me and I'll just email this because it's in my Google briefcase or whatever. They used to call it briefcase. I don't know what that is. Google something. Forgot what it's called. You wish you broker to use you can use TD Ameritrade. Use TD Ameritrade. For my OTC purchases, I use Charles Schwab, but TD is fine. Fidelity is fine. E-Trade. Any broker that's going to allow you to buy unlimited shares for one low flat rate. All right? Interactive brokers, no. Interactive brokers does not work for OTCs. Hell no. No, I think interactive brokers, after 50,000 shares, they charge you 0.0010 per share. I don't know, some crap like that. Yeah. Let's keep it going. See you guys putting up some tickers in the chat room. VXRT. I introduced some oil and gas stocks the day before yesterday, and then oil and gas tanked yesterday, beating the shit out of those oil tickers we brought up. I was watching them, very disappointed in what happened yesterday in oil and gas. We'll talk about that in a second, but boy, I was really excited to see what was going to happen. And some of these oil and gas plays we brought up that have been struggling. Sandridge, Exxon, ConocoPhillips, Marathon, Hess, all of those. Pretty disappointing. You had some guys who were talking about the market is going to sell off again. In fact, that was the head article on Market Watch. That was the head article on Market Watch. It's still on the website right now. 9 experts warned that another stock market correction is coming. 9 experts warned that another correction is coming. And, all right, last 2 days definitely haven't been the greatest, all right, for these perma bulls out there. I know they're just shitting on themselves, thinking, when are we going to get back to the mean? All right. Google Drive. Yeah, that's what they call it. Remember, they used to call it briefcase, but called Google Drive now. VXRT, Lamprey Milt said very low float. Very low float. All right. Not sure what the float is on VXRT. Kind of selling off here, but, just 4 cents a share. Biotech, so again, you got to do research on the story. 703, you're on the air. What's going on?
What's up, sir? How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Hey, yesterday was some crazy shit happening, especially every time that the new Fed man chart talked. Oh my God, he dropped it down like 330 points.
But I don't understand because he's not necessarily saying anything bad. That's the only thing I don't. Why are they using him as an excuse to?
Because every time the Fed talks, the stock variety just goes up. It swings like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
every time
I mean, but
any one of them talks.
Right. Well, I don't know about that because when toward the end, I can understand toward the beginning when Janet Yellen was there, but towards these last couple of years, Janet Yellen would come out, and it would be fine. The market really wasn't, scared of her
technically,
moves.
he's brand new, so we don't know what he thinks or what he'll do or what his plans are.
Right. Now, so when you use that as a reasoning, I agree with that. We don't know who he is. He's only been on the job for, less than a month now? So, yeah, he's new on the job, and if that's the excuse they want to go by, then I'm understanding
that's
that.
And they say we still don't want to hear no Fed talk because every time they talk, it's like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm hoping we're not double topping here when I look at the Qs or even the SPYs ETFs. I mean, we're double topping here, and you know what that means. Qs anyway, not the SPY so much. That means we're going lower. Not the best thing though.
There's this YouTube. It's freaking fantastic. I watch it every morning. They're called Right Way Options. They do like a pre-market prep. This guy. He's beautiful. He talks about the economy, what he thinks, what will happen, and they do only naked charts, so they do only price action, and it's beautiful.
Awesome.
And what was? Oh yeah, that video you was talking about, right?
Go ahead.
You had. Oh my God, that RCI track, the one that showed you on the first video.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that is sick.
Yeah. It's a great video.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's a great strategy. It's a very obvious strategy. We should know that, but sometimes it takes somebody, introducing you to something so simple and so, concise that you say, why wasn't I trading like this to begin with? So it's a great strategy for for beginners, guys who don't really know how to trade. I think it's one that will shock guys who've already been trading and could see how simple trading could be again.
Yeah, and the bets earning strategy. Oh my God, it's like, dude, you are genius, just pure genius. I literally had to watch your video over again, just to understand the different parts of that strategy. And I literally watched the video and did trading view, and I went, oh my God, that's retarded.
Yeah, I'm going to have to copy that. He's talking about Bat Scientist's earnings sell-off strategy, where basically after earnings, stocks sell off, find a bottom, and then start to run into the next earnings cycle. And we pulled up quite a few tickers
AMD,
Monday and several, showing that example of how stocks sell off after earnings, find bottoms, and then run into the very next earnings announcement. So, yeah, very, very great trade that he showed us.
Hey, quick question. I don't know if this is a small strategy or a dumb strategy on paper trading. It looks like it's working for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's when the market's greedy, I'm greedy with them. When the market is selling, I'm selling with them. You know what I'm talking about?
Not understanding what you mean by that.
Like, let's see the options. Like I do options for like let's see AMD, right?
Uh-huh.
And I see that thing go up like 1 or 2 points. So I do a call that's in the money, a little bit closer to that price check. I just wait. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like perfect example, like Amazon, right? It'll be like at 10, but you think it'll go like to 12, maybe 13. So I do like close in the money or a little bit deeper in the money. And I do like a trend stop order. So if it goes like under 2%, it automatically takes me out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's you can simply follow a moving average to do that for you. I mean, yeah, that's interesting that, using simply price to do that.
Yeah. I just follow the people. If they're greedy, I'm greedy. If they're not greedy, I'm not greedy.
Right. The only downside to that is, I mean, your slippage is crazy because you're constantly having to change the direction of the position depending on what the market is doing. Even though sometimes a stock could sell off, right? But you're still in profit, so that sell-off may not mean for you to take a position for a put. It could just be very well some profit taking, right? Some momentary profit taking that means the stock still is going to continue to increase in value.
Yeah, and that's why I love that that trail stop order, especially when you can say under 5 cents, take me out. So if it goes up 20, and if it pulls back 5 cents, it automatically takes me out. So it gives me my 15 cents profit.
There it is. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the call.
No problem.
Appreciate
it.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Fisher for the call. All right. Let's keep it going. Kush bottles, back to OTCs. Very disappointed in Kush bottles, man. I was really excited about this company. I wrote it on my website, Advanced Equity Research. Called it at the 4s. We saw it rise as high as 8 on the legalization of California marijuana. But since then, you've had guys taking the opportunity to, sell out of KSHB, which is pretty disappointing because the company practically has a monopoly on the industry. All right, when it comes to the bottling, the packaging of marijuana products, there are only 2 ways to really do it. Either you're buying products from Kush bottles, or you're wrapping them up and bottling up from shit you buy at Kmart or Sears or some crap like that, or some generic plastic company, bottling company. That's really the only way to do it. But Kush Bottles has unique products, that are made specifically for the marijuana retail side of the business. So Kush Bottles, looking to see hopefully that recovers soon. Could definitely use it now trading. Here's the hourly chart is again showing that maybe a slight recovery could be happening here, but we've been fooled before. Let's go to the daily chart. All right, here's the daily chart showing a lot of bearish activity. Look at that, making new lows here. All right, every single day as this stock continues to go lower, we find out where is the floor. Where is the floor? We got a longer than usual wick with today's action as we hit some of those 391 lows. All right, we'll identify tomorrow again whether or not that is in fact the floor, and we see a bounce showing the end of selling. But again, be very careful as MACD is showing quite a bit of selling strength there. But again, when we go to the hourly, we are seeing a possible turn or possible change in direction that could be happening here. But be careful. That's got to fully cover, and that bullish 12 line's got to go above the stronger 26 moving average selling line. All right? Not a lot of holders in KSHB. Day traders chewing it up. That's exactly right, Jeff. That's exactly right. Great short, by the way. I mean, it's been a solid short. I mean, if I didn't love this stock so much, I mean, look at that. It's been a beautiful short. It's breaking, my 50 line. Look at that. I mean, that would have been, you're talking about well over $1.40, all right, from that 50 line break on the hourly chart. Beautiful short. Beautiful short. All right. And this is a good company. This is actually a good company, a company that's got a lot of potential. I originally looked at it as a possible, pump and dump, but then I looked through the numbers and I was like, oh shit, they really are making some money here. And then I had to put out the long case, advancedequityresearch.com. I see somebody put up the S-Dow, which is the ultra short Dow 30. This goes up when the market goes down. Really for guys who love to play these ETFs in general. This is an inverse ETF basically. There's a other side of this trade. I can't remember what it's called, but S-Dow's the inverse of that Dow, and you can play it when the market is going up or going down, and you don't like to play options. You can't find a stock that benefits off a market sell-off, then yes, you would buy this inverse trade and have it go, in the direction you're used to, which is up. All right, stock was up 4.41% today. S-Dow. S-Dow's that ticker. All right. Yes, indeed. That's Lamprey Milk. Appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah. So funny you bring up OTTV. When that guy had asked me, what is my favorite stock right now, I wanted to bring it up, but OTTV, that float is just too big, dude. The float is just too big, man. OTTV, look, I like that day too, right? I like that day too. 46% gain, And then they signed, what's his name? The guy, Mafio, which is a huge, Hispanic artist. He's a huge Hispanic artist, so they gave him probably a couple millions of shares. So, to see this stock now crossing the 50 line again, let's see if it can build off that, man. But that float is big, man. That float is really big. I like, when it comes to penny stocks, you want to stick with low floats. Not saying it can't keep running. It's just you really want to stick to stocks that, don't have to depend on 238 million shares being traded to buy, to go higher. What's going on, Bats? I see Bats in the chat room. Is S-Dow good to hold? No, because it's kind of like a volatility trade. You only hold S-Dow if the stock market, if it continues to stay bearish. That's how you hold it. All right? Obviously, if you were into S-Dow yesterday, today you would still be holding S-Dow, right? If you look at S-Dow, here's Green Day yesterday, right? Market was down. Green Day today, market was down. If the market continues to stay bearish, yeah, you stay long S-Dow. As you can see here, when we were going through that market correction a few weeks ago. But the very moment the market takes the other direction and goes higher, it's very much like trading volatility. All right, it can very quickly correct against you. And so you got to be very, very careful. As you can see here, here's S-Dow slowly, eating itself during the bullish year of 2017. Would have, again, great short, multiple days. But here we are showing a lot more volatility across the markets. And because of that, S-Dow responding accordingly. Okay. Let's keep it going. LLBO. LLBO sounds like, what's that ticker? BLLB. Man, BLLB. Here's an interesting one that somebody had brought up on the show on Monday. Someone, is that Stockstar? What's going on, Stockstar? Hey, what do you think about BLLB? I think I saw a tweet from you about BLLB. Was that you? Hold on, let me go back to the Twitter. Hold on, let me see. Was it Stockstar? There you are. Hold on. What did you say about it? You had said, tried to tell y'all, BLLB, don't fall for the bullshit. So what is it about this company? Because I was looking at it myself, and one thing when I look at tickers, especially OTC tickers, when I'm interested in taking position, I go look at what the market is saying about it, because OTC stocks are very sentiment driven. There's a very sentiment driven kind of trading, besides news. And BLLB, really 50-50, but overwhelmingly pretty negative or unsure. So when I saw a guy who watches my show basically call it a piece of shit. All right, oh, okay, all right, yeah, you said it's a piece of shit, it's a scam. All right, well, there it is. All right. There it is. That's a guy who trades pennies, knows what he's talking about. So let me go ahead and flesh that down with Drain. BLLB. Wish you had more meat on that bone. I'd short it, but 0032. BLLB 425. You're on the air. What's going on?
Hey man, sorry, my phone died. I had to.
Hey, Mr. Lloyd, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. I just wanted to holler at you about that play, and just I just need a little opinion about from your point of view. Have you ever, and for you guys out there, have you guys ever saw that the play wasn't going your way, and so you decide to alter your charts, either change the time frames to feel confident enough that you made the right decision? You know what I'm talking about?
I yes and no. I mean, I see what you're saying. Right, like for example, if I want to get into a stock that
no, you're already in it.
And
it's
shit.
going
Okay.
against you.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well,
and
if you're already
so have you ever looked at another chart or try to change the time frames, and you just to gain some type of hope to stay in the play as you're watching it go down?
I would say I've done that.
What I'm talking about?
Yeah, I would say I've done that in my bag holder days. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. When you're just saying yourself, it's going to come back. It's going to come back when it starts going against you, and you don't want to claim that loss, right? Because you were so sure going in. Absolutely, I think everybody does that to a certain extent.
Right. And so you just start changing time frames. Like, okay, let me go switch to the 5 minute. Maybe I can see something. Oh, there it is, that green candle. Okay, I'm staying up in it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's what I ran into with SPX, man. I mean, I was listening to the show, and no fault upon you. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's no fault, but I get influenced very easily when I hear people say bullish. Things are going away, and I'm like, okay, you start doubting yourself about your decision making, and so. For people that go out and depend on stock twists to make an entry or exit, don't do that.
Yeah, please don't.
Right. I mean, I did that at first. I'll go to what's I forgot even the Investors Hub. And just because I was too lazy to go and read about the company myself, so I go depend on somebody else's information that I thought took the time to go look it up. And so the reality is, as time goes on, you will develop your own style. But that's that bad habit I was telling you about. I always slip back into that. Okay, everybody said this is bullish. I've shorted SPX thousands of times and never could get the damn short. So the likelihood this shit's going to keep going up is pretty high. So I got out, and sure enough, look at it today.
Yeah.
Was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, it looks
like. You have the chart up?
Yeah, I'm looking at STX, right? You're talking about Seagate, the memory.
No, SPX.
S
as in Paul.
Oh, SPX. Oh, okay. Let me see.
Yeah.
SPX.
And the Qs.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're talking about. All right. So you're talking about. We saw what happened with the Qs. The Qs continue to sell off over the last 2 days. SPX. Hold on. I think you're talking about the overall S&P 500. SPX,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that continues to sell off. I mean, and you had puts or calls here?
I bought puts. I'm sorry. I bought.
I mean, if you had puts, you made money, right?
Well, right. I bought calls today.
Okay.
But yesterday was where the 273 came from. But I just wanted to show you that 2 days ago I knew that this was going to go down, but just because of the sentiment that I was feeling, I said, okay, well, people say this is going to go to the moon, and so sure enough, I deterred myself from believing in my own analysis. Yeah. And so, my biggest lessons for everyone else is just, if you believe in yourself, man, just stay with it. When you get that gut feeling, like, okay, as far as I should go bullish, go bullish. Don't doubt yourself. So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, man. So I just wanted to pop that question on you to see, do you alter your charts to convince yourself to stay in the trade even though you see it losing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've definitely done that in the past. Not so more now, just because after a while you just realize what people say is true. I mean, at the end of the day, cut losses early. It's just better off for you, just to accept, losing that 150, that 250 before it turns into, $400, $500, $700, $800. You just take it, You
ever seen a loss go down so fast? It's almost like you're in shock. You just can't even hit the button because it's like unreal.
Oh, absolutely. When I first started, fucking with Connor, remember I came on this had to be episode like 90 something, dude. I lost $2,500 on a SPY call, and no, this was a put. This was a put, bro. I lost $2,500. It was gone. It was a weekly. After that, I never traded weeklies again. I love Connor, just like you. That I love.
Yeah,
Connor.
I love him.
I will never ever trade a weekly call on day of expiration ever. Fucking again.
Ooh, the day of expiration?
Day of expiration. I will never forget this, bro. Because you never forget your losses, right? You never forget the big losses, dude. It was day of expiration. Market opens up. I think I'm slightly out of the money. And then I was out of the money. I was slightly out of the money. I'm thinking this sucker's coming back to me, bro. It bounced right off, dude, right off. Goes higher, and my out of the money trade just loses so fast, dude. Oh my god.
Well, how come you? Well, first off, let me ask you this: what kept you from once you saw negative 300 or 400? How come you didn't take out then?
Because it was early. I mean, it was like 10:15 or some shit like that. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna come back. You know what I mean? It's early. Markets, figuring itself out, bro. And then 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. 1 o'clock, and you're like, "Fuck, dude, I'm running out of time. What the fuck? Like, what's going on?"
Right.
And
right.
Oh man, and then and what happens is, and also not to cut you off, Mr. Lloyd, but what happens is that when you're losing money, sometimes like you start to go higher, right? It starts to come back a little bit, and you're like, "Oh, okay," and then it starts going back down. That's what fucks you up. It's not like a straight down kind of thing. It's like it's straight down, but it starts to recover, and that little recovery, even though hypothetically little it is, it gives you so much hope that it's going to come back. You end up, fucking yourself over, sitting and waiting on it.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you, I was pissed, man, when I got the XPX vertical, and it was supposed to close under what's it 20? What's the price now? 23.
Yeah, 20.
So if it closed by
27.13.
Go ahead. So if it closed below 27.60, I would have had $200 at the end of the week. So when I got the vertical, it went straight up $30, and I'm already in a hole. I'm thinking, okay, let me go ahead and pull out. Everybody's saying this is bullish. Let me go ahead and the market is hot. Let me just go ahead and get out. because my analysis must be wrong, or I'm looking at the wrong time frame, and then you see this shit here collapse. So believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Believe in. We were just talking about it. And he's like, "Oh, Mr. Lloyd, you know, it looks pretty hot right now." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me keep my hot ass in," and got burnt up. So, but it's all good times, man. You know, we've had words, and I just wanted to say, you know, thank you for sharing your story with me. And Connor, I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Lloyd.
Oh, no, I was just saying goodbye.
Oh, appreciate you. All right, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
Oh, wait, what you trying? Well, you usually kick me? Oh, no, I'm just playing. All right, brother. Have a good one, man.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Lloyd. Shout out to Mr. Lloyd for the call, as always. Appreciate Mr. Lloyd. Always, he's a busy man, man. He's a busy man, so I appreciate you watching my show, bro. I know you got a lot going on with the house and his court things, a lot of other things that man could be doing, but, you know, he's sharing his experiences with you guys. And I only wish many of you guys were here from the beginning, because you really missed when it was really just him really struggling to figure what kind of trader he was. I mean, those early episodes are classics. Classic shit, man. You know, going through those OTC days and making all that money and losing all that money and coming back. Yeah, those were classics, Mr. Lloyd. I see you in the chat room. Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, I told you Mr. Lloyd is rich, man. Mr. Lloyd is rich. Y'all sleeping on brothers in the chat room, man. They got money. Look, you can't watch my show and be real talk broke. You either mentally rich, right? And right now your bank account ain't right, but you're mentally rich. You're an intelligent person, but your account size has got to start reflecting your mental capacity, you know. Or you're incredibly smart and you're incredibly rich, and that's Mr. Lloyd. That's the only really two people that watch my show. I don't have any. You can't be stupid and watch my show. You're not gonna watch the whole fucking thing. You can't be a guy who's, you know, easily aloof. You can't. You just not. My show is not gonna be interesting to you. It's just not going to be interesting to you. You're not going to get past the first couple minutes. It's just not going to happen, you know, because I see it on my end I look at the statistic Google sends me, you know, and the guys who watch my show, they watch like, you know, popular topics. It's like financial analysis, and it gives me all these little documentaries, and like they're into smart, intelligent shit, you know. Yeah. Lord, yeah, you say you're hella broke. Okay. Oh man. Just keep doing it, man. You know, again, that's the thing about intelligent guys who sometimes don't have the account size. Just focus on, as you said, Lord Yase, the entries and the process. If you focus on the process, dude, it's a matter of time until your bank account starts reflecting the way you think. It's just a matter of time, man. It's just a matter of time. But you actually have to be doing the work. You know, don't even focus on the money, dude. Just focus on the process. You know? Yeah, I was doing 24-hour, dude. I was doing like 9-hour shows at the beginning. 9-hour, 10-hour shows. That was some real ass shit. Yeah. You said you would have loved to have known about it 10 years ago. Yeah. I mean, it's never too late, though, man. This is a marathon game, bro. This is a marathon game. I mean, I tell myself all the time, you know, and I want to tell you that. Can you imagine how good of a trader you'll be? Not only a year from now, but, dude, 10, 20 years from now? Do you know how good you'll be? If you love it as much as you love it now, and you've been participating as much as, I mean, you know how good, you know what kind of money you'll probably be trading with at that level? You know what I'm saying? I talk to these traders, dude, in their late 60s, 70s, early 50s, late 50s. They're all got money. All of them. And most of them, they've been trading since their teens, man. They ain't no chart they haven't seen before. you know, late teens, early 20s. They all got money. You know, all got money. So I'm playing the marathon thing, dude. I can't wait till I'm excited about my 50s and my 60s because I already know what kind of money I'm going to be working with. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm thinking about the honeys that ain't even born yet. You know what I mean? Granted, of course, I'd love to be happily married, but if I'm not, I got some honeys that ain't even born yet. They're going to know my name. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Yes, indeed. Let's keep it going. He said, I'm looking forward to old age. I'm not necessarily looking forward to old age as much as I'm looking forward to the security and the security of old age and what that old age is going to look like because I'm making good decisions now. I feel that I'm making good decisions now. So it's not about, you know, can't wait till I'm 50. Oh my God. It's not that. It's just, I don't know. I hope I'm explaining it right. I'm not afraid of my 50s. I'm not afraid of my 60s. You know what I mean? I'm blessed to be in the now, dude. I'm loving it. You know, I have a friend who didn't make 21. You know. In fact, one of my good friends, I wouldn't call him a friend. Well, he was a kid that I looked up to in the neighborhood. I was like 6 years old. This guy just turned maybe like 18. I was 6, bro. He used to just play with us in the neighborhood. Just a young cat, man. Just really doing. Dude ended up getting killed, unfortunately. You know, think about that dude every day because he was just a good young dude in hindsight, looking back on him. So I'm grateful for every day. All right. Appreciate you, Andrew. You say you don't start getting old until you hit 100. Man, look, there's going to be a time when nobody's going to get old, man. They're going to download you into a computer. They're going to download you into a computer where all your memories are downloaded. And you'll basically have the voice. And this machine will talk to you in that voice. All right. You'll still have a physical death because, you know, the body cannot regenerate. So the body will eventually always get old and breaks down. But what they're going to do is they're going to download your memories, the way you think, you know, into a machine. And that machine will live, of course, you know, for eternity. But that machine will not have a soul. That's the only thing. You know, a soul cannot be replaced. A soul cannot be replaced. I'm 30. Yeah. Fisher asking me what's my age. I'm 30. About to be 31 in May. All right. Injured people that cannot be human. Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, I don't fuck with Weight Watchers, man. Weight Watchers, that's another stock that doesn't trade the way it's supposed to. Weight Watchers is one of those stocks that it's just got a different kind of base. You know, Oprah fans and, it's just a different group, right? But I'm looking at the chart here, and you're looking at this huge divergence that's happening here between the RSI and the chart. That's going on here. Well, I guess it's picking up some of the peaks and valleys, but for the most part, you're seeing it's going bearish. It is showing, I guess it is showing in the chart. Let's go into hourly. Let's go into the hourly. Oh, yeah, there it is. There was your break. All right, it's been fighting. It's fighting it, but for the most part, here you're below 50. So, yeah, a good put would be solid here on WTW. Yeah, a good put would be solid here on this. A good put would be solid here. All right. That actually makes sense here. In fact, if you see what it did today, look at that. You had the gap up opening today and sell off from 77. The stock actually lost $10 today. Shout out to anybody who bought that put there. Man, that's a killer instinct right there.
Supreme victory.
Oh boy. If you caught that move, that would have been a sick profit. That's 9:30 in the morning at that time. All right. Absolutely. In fact, but you got to notice some of these divergences. Like one I'm really following right now. What was it? INFN? I think is the ticker. Yeah. INFN, excuse me. As you can see here, you'll get some of these divergence patterns where the stock is going higher, right? But then RSI is losing steam. MACD is losing steam. This is what's called divergence. All right. So this stock should be coming down, and a major correction is going to be happening in INFN. It's going to be a major correction in this stock. Now the float's pretty tight. That's what's keeping it, keeping it up there. The float's relatively tight. I have a feeling the company is buying shares to keep it up. Yesterday they had a presentation at the JP Morgan Technology Conference that took place yesterday in California. I think that had something to do with it. So now that's over with, and they announced some news a couple days ago. I'm looking forward to seeing this sell off. Because as you can see here, MACD showing there's nobody here. There's nobody here. This is like one buyer or a couple buyers holding the whole thing together. All right, on INFN. All right, just putting it out there. Lord Yase, you said you're 43 March 2nd. Oh, your birthday's right around the corner, sir. Birthday's right around the corner. You said, how am I hating on Oprah's pump? Yeah, Oprah, man, she's, I got to give it to Oprah, bro. She, very smart lady. She has not created a goddamn thing, but she's just used her voice and her ability to kind of be the female version of Diddy. She's basically the nice American version of Diddy. Female version of Diddy. That's all she is. Diddy talk is all about the party. She's all about, at the beginning, she was all about, she was just as raunchy as Springer at the beginning. Those of you guys who are old enough to remember, I remember as a kid tuning into some of those early Oprah episodes, and she was talking about who's the daddy and why do you dress so slutty and all that shit. She wasn't all as squeaky clean as she is now. You older guys, you know what I'm talking. She wasn't that clean at the beginning. Nowhere near the same level as she is now. Now she's like Mary Poppins, man, taking pictures with world leaders and all that other shit. Jerry Springer, yeah, Jerry made a huge lot of money, man. I was reading an article on Jerry Springer a while back, dude. He made a lot of money. I knew those guys, syndication is big money, but damn, dude. Jerry Springer was racking it. Yeah. And you got to understand, those Jerry episodes are still bank, bro, because you can watch them like you can watch them now. I'm surprised he hasn't put out a DVD on that shit yet. I mean, obviously you're going to need to do some hella color correction and some, fixing of the quality of them. But if they can make some of those 1950s and 60s movies look as good, they can fix the Jerry Springer Show. Yeah, he got his money and got the fuck on. Yeah. Yeah. A Jerry Springer Show today wouldn't work because broadcast TV ain't popping like that. It would work online though. If you can figure out a way to do it online, it would work online. It would work online. But on broadcast television during the day like that, not so much anymore. Wouldn't work anymore. Let's look at a couple more tickers and then we'll get up out of here. ITKH. ITKH. Here's the hourly. Let's go back to the daily, see what the bigger picture is. ITKH, yes. OTC stock, great volume, but man, the float's got to be pretty big. Well, maybe not too big, but I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. It's got actually decent volume. 413, you on the air. What's going on?
So, it's the Mean Marine, Jeff. How you doing?
Hey, Jeff. What's going on with you, man? Been a minute.
No, brother. Hey, listen, I got a question for you. I'm new to this option thing. I've done a couple in the past, but I forgot all about it.
Okay.
All right, on a stock that I've gotten, on the expiration date, can you sell it before the expiration date?
Oh, absolutely.
Or do you keep it?
Absolutely.
You keep it till the expiration date.
You can sell it before the expiration date, and you can keep it till the expiration date. For example, I have some Ford calls right now that don't expire until January of 2019. I could sell them tomorrow if I want. So,
right?
Yeah, you can. The expiration date really is when the last you can have them. So you've got to either decide to either keep them and follow through with the share purchase or sell them into the market.
Right. So let's say if I buy a stock out into it's out in the future, the current price of a stock, let's say, would be $10 right now, and you are going to say that the stock is going to go to $12 in 6 months.
Okay.
Now, 3 months from now, the stock is up like $10. It's like $20.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep playing it all the way, let it run through to its expiration date, or take the profit when it hits $20?
Dude, I'd take the profit. I mean, all that profit and plus the time value remaining on the option makes it incredibly valuable. So I would take that, man. I would take that and run with it, bro. I mean, if you're sitting on that kind of profit, sure. Now, look, you could see what the underlying story is, and maybe it's an acquisition or something that's fundamentally changed with the company that's bringing in this incredible revenue, and that's translating to increase the stock price. But no, dude, I would cash in that option and move on with my profit. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, because I bought GE for September.
Okay.
I said it's going to go. I'm thinking it's going to go to 16.
Okay.
From where it's at now.
GE September option. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. I mean, that's a good option. GE,
I mean, I got it for 66 cents. Anyway.
66 cents. Okay. Yeah. You got more than enough time on that option. Great option. The fact that you got it with that much time on it. And yeah, I mean, all you have to do now is if you get a nice run back to 15 or back to 16 in 30 days, and you still have 4 or 5 months left on this option, dude, you can sell that profit as well as that time value back into the market for a considerable gain.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what I'm looking at. All right, excellent. That was my question for you. I didn't have anything other than that. And if I find something, I'll definitely let you know. But I'm just new into the option thing, so I just wanted to give a shout out. I got the book, but I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Not a problem. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate you watching, man.
All right, brother.
Thank you so much. There's Jeff the Marine calling us up. Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to those Marines. Shout out to those Marines. I don't like you guys' haircuts, but I fucks with the Marines, though, man. The only thing about those Marines, sometimes they'll keep the haircut until they're damn near 90 years old. You'll see this guy with a Marine haircut. They're like, God damn, man. This guy hadn't been in the Marines since the 1940s. He still got the haircut. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn. You know, shit. He's ready for war already, dude. He's 90 years old, still ready for war. You know, don't let the enemy can't grab your hair and fuck with you, man. All right, last few tickers. LPCN. 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 Oh, speaking of that too, I just saw a Vietnam veteran the day before yesterday, and I always like saying welcome home to those guys. You know, that's the thing you have to do with those. When you see a Vietnam veteran, you shake his hand and say welcome home. I really always took pride in doing that with those guys. You know, because it really means a lot to them, because they were treated really bad when they came back. You know, treated like baby killers and all that, and they were, you know, if you don't understand history, most of those guys didn't even want to go, you know. So I always make sure that I tell them welcome home, especially from younger people. It matters a lot, because it lets them know we know what really happened with them, you know. So definitely let those guys know. LPCN up 25% today. Nice move today with that multiple day move too. Yesterday, nice gain on that. I'll give them the ring of the bell. I'll give him the ring of the bell. In fact, let me give the ka-ching. There it is. Yeah. I'll give him the ka-ching with that. Yeah, appreciate it. Oh, that's David. What's going on, David? Shout out to David in the chat room. I did a great interview with David. Check that out. Hey, David, why did you change your name, man? I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that you had your name. You were branding yourself. You changed it to Do Trading. It was the David Lincoln Show. I like that, dude. It had a really good ring to it. The David Lincoln Show. And then you changed it to Do Trading. I thought it was solid branding on your part, David. You said you keep changing. No, bro. Go with David. The David Lincoln Show, bro. That's classic. That's so fucking classic, dude. You can't get any better than that. Yeah, change it back. You said Do was your badge. Well, you wear your badge. That's cool. But I think for branding purposes, the David Lincoln Show, that's classic. Yes, indeed, man. That's very American. SWN earnings out Friday. Okay. Yeah, I think some of you guys need to jump on that forward option with me too, man. He's playing GE. I like GE too, but I'm playing that forward option. I got the 1187 call. The 1187 call for January 2018. No, 2019. Sorry, 2019. Let me log in there and show you what it's going for right now. I always forget what it's priced. So I picked it up dirt cheap, man. What is it? January 18, 2019, 1187 call. I picked it up for 42 cents. I got 120 contracts. I picked it up for 42 cents each. All right, and I'm thinking that Ford is going to go back up to 1187, and it's already slowly creeping. It's creeping up there. We're fighting it though. We got a lot of resistance. But when I look at the monthly option, they're fighting it. Boy, we could use a floor here. All right, there's that candlestick for this month. It's building. It's still coming. It's still coming together. So we'll see. All right. But I'm looking for a bounce at these levels. All right. Don't let me down, Ford. Don't let me down. All right. You said somebody will buy that name. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I'm saying. He had a great name with that. The David Lincoln Show. I like that. TAHO. TAHO. 488. You said put that on Do Trading. Yeah. No, I think he had it perfect. I would use my name, but somebody would say LaSalle in Iguana, in Nuwagu, in Nanungu. What? I don't know how to say that. So I was like, you know what? just change. Just make it the small cap millionaire. That's just, At the beginning, when I first started my channel, I was going by my name. But everybody kept butchering the shit out of it, so I just just fucking forget it. I got it for like 42 cents or 41 cents. 42 cents. I averaged out at about 42 cents. All right. And you don't have to buy that much. I mean, you can just buy, because again, 42 cents, 42-cent contracts. So you're talking about $4, 42 cent, $4 contracts. So you can just buy a few of those. All right. You don't have to be a make it or break it thing, and it's going to be sitting in the account for a while. It's sitting in the account for a while. And it's a slow mover, so it's one of those tickers you can kind of set it and forget it. Ford ain't moving too much every day. STB, student transportation. This is one of those companies that competes with like Bluebird, right? The bus maker Bluebird. I forgot what their ticker is. I think it's like Blue. Can't remember. But I think these guys make buses too, if I'm correct. Don't know anything about it. With $7 stock. Looks like you had some huge news today. What was that? Dividend. Speaking of bats, is bats still in here? It was a dividend play. That happened. But again, don't know too much about student transportation. But where's with Bluebird? What's Bluebird's ticker? Blue. Yeah, it is Blue. I was right. Yeah. Yeah, the school bus maker Bluebird. This is one of those stocks where, at the end of the day, they sell. Why is it labeled as a biotech? Am I looking at the right thing? This is Bluebird Bio. Hold on. What happened to Bluebird, the bus company? Okay, yeah, this is it. All right, this is it. BLBD. Yeah, this is Bluebird, the bus company. Yeah, this is one of those ones that you really can't. It's long-term kind of stock. They're interesting business. I read about them. The volume isn't that great. It's a very, again, this is not one of those companies that's ever going to be up 100% in a month. Very, very cyclical type of business, but at the same time, it generates very reliable profits. You'll see this company in a lot of those funds that are relatively small but looking for assured growth. Because they sell their products predominantly to municipalities. So, but not one stock anybody in here would want to buy. All right. ITKH, penny incoming. Yeah, we'll keep watching it, Gucci, on ITKH. We'll keep watching it. But K-Mac, yeah, sorry about that, K-Mac. I don't really know anything about that business, man. Student transportation. I see you gapped up here quite a bit. I mean, $7.49 today, up $1.48, right? So the stock is up huge. All right, you're gonna have to do some research on what that is. I wouldn't chase it though. I mean, I don't know what that is, but I wouldn't chase it at those levels if you're not already in. Yeah, I brought up STGG earlier in the show. STGG, I brought that up earlier in the show. They got some kind of government contract that they won. Incredible volume for the stock. Incredibly low float. Looking for tomorrow. As soon as tomorrow, I'm looking for a continuation of that bullish momentum. As soon as tomorrow. Because that float is so low. Ken was really excited about it as I brought it up. So nice play on that. All right. Yeah, huge gain for them. I mean, 265%. 265%, man. That's a huge. Let me see. I'll give that an ultra kill. That's ultra kill. It's huge for one day. That's a very low float. I mean, 184,000 shares, and you're up 265%. That float is ridiculously low. So we've seen what it's done in the past. I mean, sucker went from 2 cents a share to $3.75 a share in a matter of 2 days. 2 days. This is a 2-day move. 2 cents to 3. Man. Oh, my God. Will it do it again? Who knows? You know, but it's a hot potato. Don't get burned on it, all right? Yeah.
Flawless victory.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an incredible move. It could be, it could very well be a pump and dump, but there's an interesting some interesting information that's being put out about the company, about, you know, whether or not they won a contract or something like that. You're gonna have to do some research on it. I'm not in it. I don't have anything to do, but I'm definitely gonna watch it tomorrow and see if we continue to have that unusual volume developing it. But as you can see here, very illiquid, very spotty buying. I don't want to be a sucker here, so you got to be very, very careful dealing with this. Unusual volume, but not enough volume just yet. Now, if we start seeing these kind of candlesticks, right? If we start seeing this kind of volume, when we start seeing, you know, 700,000, 800,000 looks like it's going to end up becoming, then hell yeah, I'm going to try and see what I can get out of that. But again, you're going to have to pull up the level 2, or you're going to have to, you know, seeing how guys are hitting the bid. You know, if they're really hitting the bid hard, then you can jump in and be a part of that action. But if it's light and sporadic, and then nah, man, don't get caught. You know, don't get caught. I see somebody in the chat room bringing up NVIDIA. I don't know if Bats is going to talk about NVIDIA, but I think still have that position? I don't know if I still have that position. Hold on. God, why are you making me log in again? Okay, hold on. All right, so yep, I still have it. I have a NVIDIA put. It's way out the money though. I don't think it's gonna. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm looking at, how when you look at a position later after you buy it, you're like, I don't know about it. But I might have to. If it continues to go lower, then we'll be fine. March 16th, 225 put. March 16th, 225 put on NVIDIA. So we'll see what happens. I'm out the money, and again, I don't even really play that far out, but it was so cheap. It was under $1.70 that I had to grab some in the stock, and that was up today, up 72 cents for that contract. I also have a Kroger March 16th $30 put. Those are the only two puts I have right now. Bad Scientist, I'm in this call, the March 16th $10 call for AMD. That's not looking too good right now. I'm going to have to liquidate that if that hits my stop. All right, that's not looking too good for me right now. So I am losing on that one. It's about to hit my stop. We'll probably hit it tomorrow if we lose another $100 on it. And that's pretty much it. And then of course I got my CNBX. I'm short CNBX. I'm short CBDS. I'm still short RCAR. I'm still all my positions on my website, Advanced Equity Research. When I write a position on there about a stock being a pump and dump, you can guarantee 100% I'm short the stock. 100% I'm short the stock. PTOTF. This one is I'm a little bit hard getting shares of, but that's another one that I've wrote. I'm short that, but I'm looking to get a bigger position. All right. So the calls, I can't go as heavy. Or the puts, I can't go as heavy as I am because I'm going to have to liquidate some of these shorts here. Because, again, we don't have unlimited cash. But, at the end of the day, there's no better strategy than shorting pump and dumps. Because it's just so consistent, but the money is a bit slow. It takes almost 30 to 35 days to really be sitting on bank, because it takes a while for these companies to lose. I mean, this ironically, PTOTF, this has only been 5 days, so it's been a really nice move for me on PTOTF. If you guys remember, I put up that video and they kind of came after me, and now silence. AMD looks to bounce off the trailer. I'd love to see AMD bounce. Because, again, I'm losing right now on that AMD call. You know what I'm saying? Down 315 right now on AMD. So, I'm willing to lose $500. If it goes up, then it is what it is. The loss is a loss. Let's make some money tomorrow. Yes, traders. Appreciate you, Woody Wright. What is it, Jeff? What did you put in? BLNK? All right, and then we'll get out of here. BLNK. Blink charging. Looks like they rang the bell a couple days ago at NASDAQ. Don't know anything about them. Electric vehicle charging services. A very promising business. I think it's a very promising business. As you can see here, there is some kind of momentum building in the stock, though. Something, you do have buying volume being generated. So I would, and this is the hourly. This is the hourly showing that. Let's go to the daily. And here's the daily. Still got, we still have yet to see it in the stock, right? In the daily chart. Obviously, the daily is a longer time frame than an hourly. But we're seeing a change of pace that's slowly developing. All right, but the volume has to kind of catch up, though. The volume just is really, really light. So hopefully you can get a bounce there out of those low RSIs. All right, appreciate you, Bill Betts. Now let's look at his, since he's a donator. Let's look at his real quick. CNIT. Okay, I see what you're doing here, Bill Betts. You're looking to play a bounce, huh? Down 3%. The Chinese stocks come and go. The Chinese stocks kind of come and go. They have their moments. I'm not a big fan of this setup, though, Bill. I'm not a big fan of this setup. Even on the hourly, it's not looking very healthy. Both of my indicators are not confirming any real change in trend. All right, any real change in trend. In fact, we're getting away from. We're not. It's not going the right way. You want to kind of see it going. If we were looking at a turning situation, like turning up a little bit, but we're not seeing that. CHK, scratch it off the list. CHK is done. It's a wrap. CHK is a wrap. It's a wrap. Natural gas ain't coming back. I read it. Oversupply, lower demand than usual coming out of winter. It's a wrap on that CHK. CYCC. CYCC. Yeah, again, man, I'm not a fan. I know it's a biotech, so, they can drop some news and change. But, again, here's another one where the trend is it's not very favorable. It's not showing a commitment to a change here. You said you're in all three of their dips. I mean, again, Bill, you know, I hope I'm not right. You know, I hope I'm not right. Out of all of them, your best one is CYCC. But again, they don't have very favorable looking candlestick being shown here. Let me go to a smaller time frame. What did you see in it? The 10-minute? Nah, man. Even 10 minutes, I'm not seeing it. Again, very low volume. Let me see if I can get you a better play, bro. What you want to do? Because I see what you're going for. You liking these there's low RSI runners, and I get what you're doing with them. Let me see here. You're going to the daily. You're looking at them. You're saying, okay, they're really beat up. They could turn around. I see what you're doing. And again, I hope I'm wrong. But I'd love to see you trade stocks with a little bit more volume. So if you're going for low RSI, oversold, all right, let's go for something with a lot of volume. All right, let's look up something right now. We'll do it together. All right, you're looking for a low RSI mover. Here's Office Depot. All right, great volume. Let's look at. All right, see something like this. This is something you can do. You see what I'm saying? You want to look for something that's got if you're gonna play, it's really beat up, man. You want something if you want beat up, you don't want any mid-range stuff that could go lower. You really want very low downside risk. Now this could continue to go, so I would watch this. But I love how that RSI is, that MACD moving average is really low. I mean, this is really very, very, very low. So Office Depot. All right. What else can we find for you? That's nice and cheap, but great volume. All right. LC. Here's another one. Lending Club. Lendingclub.com. All right. Again, you see in here the turn up. Here's the buy signal came in pretty low. This is the hourly chart. It's one of my favorites. Is the hourly. Again, bullish confirmation is at the 50. You're going in pretty early, but I love the crossover that's being shown in the MACD. You're still early though. I mean, you're still pretty early because you're this confirmation of bearishness right here. So it could very well continue to go lower. But at least you got one indicator showing a possible turn. Lending Club, I'll put that on your list right now. In fact, I'm going to put that on my list for myself. Damn, that was a good find. Lending Club, I like that one. See if that's got some options. What else? It's this OPK. Not familiar with this company. Nah, don't like it. Don't like it. Never mind. This is an interesting play. Large cap company, but big name. General Mills. General Mills. I'd go. General Mills is looking, but again, General Mills is another company. It can, being that it's a large cap, is going to follow the overall market too. So if you get a sell off across the SPX, being that this is a Dow Jones stock, it could very well continue to go lower. Or you might have guys give it some pity, as it's already pretty sold off aggressively from its $61 price at the beginning of the month. All right, so here was that the correction at the beginning of the month that we all went through, and then here's another kind of real dump by the market. So this 18 trading at 18 PEs is actually a pretty good trade right here. It's actually a pretty good trade right here. General Mills. You already know General Mills. All of you guys in here have eaten a General Mills product. You got one moving average crossover. All right. Here's the daily chart, heavily oversold. I'd go long here. Earnings in a couple days. Well, next month, actually. That's a solid that's a good trade right there. I'd actually do that. Cool cats. What do you mean MACD over RSI? We're looking for both to confirm. We're looking for both to confirm a possible change. In trend being developed. All right. So when we look at, for example, that lending club, which is probably the strongest one I pulled up, lending club, and we go back to see, you can see here 29 on the RSI, right? So still on the hourly, we're seeing a change that has yet to show in this higher daily time frame. But if we go into the hourly, it's pretty healthy. If you were going here, if we were going here, we've already got the MACD showing the crossover. It hasn't showed up yet in the RSI, so we haven't peaked up yet, but that could be happening as soon as tomorrow. And if we go to an even smaller time frame, I bet we would already see it. Let's go to, let's say, cut that in half. Let's go to a 30-minute. See that? See that? Let's go to even lower. Let's go to cut that in half. Let's go to 15. All right. So the smaller time frames are showing that the stability is coming in, right? We're not getting that arch that we got earlier. So we're seeing here in Lending Club, we're starting to get a floor that eventually goes like that. But it has yet to show up in a more reliable time frame. I'm not going to trade on just this. I like it's got confirmation, right? I like the confirmation. But I'm looking at the higher time frame because I want to make sure that it's happening. I want to make sure it's happening. But Lending Club, out of all of them, is the best one. It's the best one. Yes, Craig G. Yeah, I'm using the hourly. For my options, also define or identify stocks that are changing out of bearish momentum. It's a really great chart, man. You'd be surprised. The 60 minutes, it really gets you out of the bullshit of the 5 or 10 or, it really identifies multiple day possibilities when you're looking at a 60-minute. And again, that doesn't have to be yours. I'm not saying that's got to be the way you trade. That's just, for me, it's changed the way I trade. 10 minutes good too, yeah. I just tell guys to stay out of that bullshit 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute. I mean, so many damn fake signals. I don't know how you guys deal with that. Yeah, swinging options, absolutely, Lord Yase. Swinging options is also a great way to identify potential short opportunities. Potential short opportunities is a great way to identify a short. Great way to do that. Thinking about a recent great short. It's pretty much a pump and dump, but this is a beautiful, change in direction here. This is probably too drastic of a short, but here's an example of that. Again, a bit too drastic because shorts don't really play out this easily. But you had the confirmation here. All right, because you don't want to get yourself caught up in a dip. But then you had the change in trend here. Here's the hourly going below the 50. Again, if you saw those DVDs, you already know what we're talking about here. Below the 50 on the RSI on the hourly. MACD cross. All right, so we got the confirmation. All right, of both of the indicators. That's where your short is. And then as you can see here, you've stayed below 50 and you would really stay in until this goes above the 50 again. If we see this cross above the 50, I'm out. Take your profits and go. But that's how it works. That's how it works. All right, and you can go over it over and over and over again. If you let's say CAN, for example, here's another one, CAN. All right, we can go. Let's zoom into a little bit on CAN. All right, you'll see here's another example. Going back to January, you can see CAN. When it showed up on my, put it on my website, Advanced Equity Research. Here's a cross right here. 50, below 50, MACD cross. Boom, here's your short. All right, both indicators confirming bearish nature. All right, and you would stay in until it crosses above. Boom, you got that again. All right, so you cross, wait. Oh, okay, it's going back. Boom, look at this, another MACD crossover. You're short again. Boom, coming back. But you see, you're in profit, though. So you can do it that way over and over and over and over again. And it works. It really works. You know. Again, these are pump and dumps, so they're really accurate for those. It works on your large caps, too. For example, what got me into the NVIDIA trade? All right, the NVIDIA trade, I was a little bit hesitant on because it was interesting because it already kind of crossed. So here's the MACD, here's the RSI cross over the 50. All right, the bearish is already crossed. And that's why I feel like I might have fucked myself over, but if it sells off tomorrow, then I'm right. Because MACD is already showing negative sentiment. But RSI was just slightly below my 50 line. All right. So the MACD actually sent the signal really early, and RSI not confirming. So I didn't pull the trigger on that one. But these are very profitable trades. If you see the crossover on the MACD, crossover below the 50 line on RSI. Oh boy, that's a beautiful trade, man. Almost 90%. Is that Stock God uses the 1 minute? Yeah, and he's really good at that. He's really good at that. All right, so let me get out of here, guys. I know we can go 10 hours with this, man, and I'm gonna keep talking about stocks probably once I get off of here, in my mind, that is. But let me ring the bell. Appreciate you guys who love this as much as I do. All right, let me go ahead and ring the bell. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. He said 30 more minutes. No, 30 more minutes will turn into 2 more hours. I know me, bro. I know me. 30 more minutes will turn into 2 more hours. You know, that's how it works for me, man. 30 more minutes will turn into 2 more hours. What happened to my my Rick Ross luxury beat? I always wondering what happened to that beat. Oh man, I know I should be doing this later, but oh man, I had my Rick. What the fuck happened to my Rick Ross luxury? Okay, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Lord, that shit. All right, guys, appreciate you for joining me. Another episode of Penny Stocks Live. Fisher G, I appreciate you. Who else do we have in the building, man? Chris Divini, appreciate you. happypennystocks@gmail.com. happypennystocks@gmail.com. I'll send you the link to my Google Drive. And look, I'm not trying to change the way you trade. If you're a beginner, I think it can help you. If you're already making money, then maybe it might teach you a new thing or two. But anything we can take from other people to use to make ourselves better and make these dreams become a reality, I'm all for it, bro. Appreciate you, Jim Gray. Life for Business. K-Mac, appreciate you, man. Andrew Gladness, thank you, man. No, go ahead, Andrew. I know you're doing your job, bro. I appreciate you, man, just for listening, dude. Thank you so much, Andrew. Downsdale Essex, thank you, sir. Joe Silva, thank you, man. JT the Bullhead Trader, appreciate you. Antonio King, thank you for stopping by. Bill Betts, thank you for the donations, bro. Joe Johnny, Add the Leon. Who else was in here? Cali Rob, appreciate you, Cali Rob, man. Corey Kwan, Wande Casa, Chris McKinney, you already know what it is, man. Appreciate you, bro. I'm out of here. I will see you guys same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, happy trading, everyone. Fisher G, you were saying, how did I find that lending club stock? Go to FinViz, man. Go to FinViz, click the screener, and then go to fundamentals, and then put up that low RSI under 40 indicator. It pulls right up. All right. Very easy to find these low floaters, low RSI plays. All right, take care, everyone. I'm out of here before I stay on till 2 in the morning. Yes, sir. Take care, Jeff. Appreciate you for the call, man. When is Friday's show? I don't have a Friday show. No more. I got 2 episodes of the podcast. I gotta put them up though, but I'm waiting for somebody to get back with like the intro, the outro, and all that shit. All right, take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.